All right, Coach, go ahead and take it away.
All right, thanks, Doug. Well, it's great to be here with you guys tonight. We're going to go over the zone read and the key game, and we're going to try to pay particular attention or help the new guys out by really starting from ground zero. I know Nate mentioned we had a lot of new guys in the system the last 3 or 4 months, and we want to try to catch you guys up to speed here. So we're going to start from a very basic perspective, and we'll stay on as long as we can and get everybody's questions answered. Um, the zone read or Zoro game, in my opinion, this is where the offense begins. We need to force defenses to stop the run, and the zone read for me is the best run play that we have. I believe it's good from almost all of our formations. We have answers versus all fronts and coverages, so you really never have to be worried calling it. And when you add the key game, you have a chance to get the ball to your athletes in space, which is where a lot of the big plays come in. For us, we've had one quarterback who couldn't run very well, and another one that was just an average running quarterback. So, taking some things from Noel, we found ways to adapt the zone read game so that you don't need a great runner at the quarterback position. Um, for me, when we're a 10 personnel team, most of the time, and I think box math is real important. If we've got a 5-man box, we want to run the football. Okay, that's a great situation for us, man on man, create some space and run the ball versus a 5-man box. When we have a 6-man box, all right, we know we have to read somebody. In the zone read game for us, it's usually a down lineman. When we get to the Colt game, now we're reading a linebacker, and when our Giants and our pop game, we're reading linebackers. But in the Zorro game, we're usually reading a down lineman. And then if we get 7 in the box, we got to throw it. Now, and I've known about box math for a long time, but I was always concerned about, I don't want my quarterback up on the line of scrimmage trying to count how many guys are there. So we basically count the box by evaluating the key screens. We'll show you tonight. We'll put a key screen on the front side of a play, a key screen on the back side of the play, and if they've got both of those key screens covered, we know they probably don't have 7 in the box, so we're either going to run the ball or read it. So that's how we end up counting the box. I never have my quarterback up there, actually trying to count players. Going to start with our Zoro rules up front. Now, we do it a little bit differently than Coach Peavy. He has a count system that works very, very well. We've been running zone since 2001 and have a system at our school that we've been using. My offensive line coach played for me. He's comfortable with it. So I'm going to give you our communication. And basically, when we run Zorro, our offensive linemen need to know what gap they are responsible for. If we are running Zorro odd or Zorro to the left, okay, our guys know they all are responsible for the gap to their left. If we're running Zorro to the right, our guys know they're all responsible for the gap to the right. And knowing your gap of responsibility, to me, is the most important part of the play. So if we start with the front side tackle, okay, on Zorro, he's going to block the C gap. And the one important thing that he's got to do, all right, he has got to make an alert call if he has 2 men on or outside him. So whenever we're getting a blitz from the front side, our tackle has to make an alert call. And when we get to the diagrams, I'll show you that. But he's got the C gap. The front side guard has got the B gap. When he's covered, he's working with the center. When he's uncovered, he's working with the tackle. And that's a general rule for us. The center has got the front side A gap. When he's covered, he's working with the backside guard. When he's uncovered, he's working with the front side guard. But the most important thing for those guys up front is to know what gaps they have. Tackle in the C, guard in the B, center in the A. On the backside guard is going to block the A gap. All right. If he's got we call it a 2 or a 3, head up or outside shoulder, he's going to make an under call and work with the tackle versus a 1 technique. He's going to make a base call, meaning he has him by himself. If he's uncovered, he's going to work with the center up to the second linebacker. And our backside tackle, he's going to listen to that guard. If he gets an under call from the guard, he's going to work with the guard. No undercall. He's going to do what we call sift to the backside linebacker. Now, for us, all of our guys are going to step with their play side foot up front, and that step depends on the leverage that we have. If we're trying to reach a man in our front side gap, our aiming point is his play side number. We're going to take a step that allows us to do that, not a big bucket step. We are off the ball with our linemen. We're taking good 3-foot splits. So we think a 45-degree step should be able to get our head to the play side number when we're blocking a shade. If we've got a backside shade, we may just take that foot and pick it up and put it down. But for our guys, they know, hey, if it's Zoro to the left, we're all going to step with our left foot. If it's Zoro to the right, we're all going to step with our right foot. Going down to the tailback, he's got open, crossover, and plant. And here's one of the most important coaching points for the play. He's going to attack the play side cheek of the blocker who has the defender closest to the center. So what that means to us, if we're running Zoro odd and there is a man head up on the center, his aiming point is the center's left cheek. If that guy is in the play side A gap, okay, again, he's going to run for that center's play side cheek. All right, he's going to try to get to the play side cheek of the man closest to the center. If that guy's in the backside A gap on the backside guard, well, now we're just about straight downhill because we're lined up behind that guard. So, and I'll show you that when we get to the diagrams. But I think one of the most important things in the play is that the tailback runs, all right, for the play side cheek of the blocker who has the defender closest to the center. We want to attack the man that's closest to the center. Our quarterback, all right, pre-snap, he's going to evaluate smoke, which for us is front side. Then he's going to evaluate key, which is backside. In either case, if he has numbers, he's going to throw the ball. All right. If the throw is not available pre-snap, his next item is to check the backside B gap. If the backside B gap is open, we expect to hand the ball off. If the backside B gap is occupied, now our guard is probably going to make an undercall. We're going to double that 3 technique and read the defensive end. We're going to hand the ball off unless the defensive end bends hard. So at this point, we'll take a look at some of those blocking schemes. All right, we're going to start first with what we call an ace front or single linebacker defense, 5-man box. This is where we want to run the ball. All right, we're running Zoro even to the right. Okay, our front side, center guard, and tackle all have A, B, and C gap. All right, the tackle is going to be solo. The center and the front side guard are working together. Okay, up to that Mike linebacker. And we use a shuffle technique with that center. He wants to shuffle into that A gap. He doesn't want to gain ground. He's going to give presence with his play side hand to that guard. If the 3 stays out in the 3, then we're going to try to climb late to that Mike linebacker. One of the most important points for these guys up front is getting them to work slowly to the next level. We don't want to run to the next level. We want to make sure we shuffle, maintain our gap, protect our gap, and then climb to the next level. On the backside, our left guard is going to base block that. We call it a 1 technique, inside shade. He's going to target the play side number. He's going to try to create lateral movement on that nose. We're not looking to get as much vertical as we'd like to create lateral movement and running spaces up front. And that's one of the reasons we like to take a nice wide 3-foot split is we're looking to create some running lanes up front. So that left guard on Zoro even, he's got a play side number, aiming point, right? He's going to try to create lateral movement. I've heard Jack Peavy say a number of times, clear the A gap there with that nose guard. Now, probably the most important technique on the play is this backside tackle. He's going to sift to the next level. He has an open B gap. There, B gap is his assignment, but there's no threat in it right now. So he's going to lift his play side foot, which is his right foot, just put it down, and he's going to work vertically up the field. He's going to make contact with his outside surface on this end, and he's going to hold that end off until someone threatens the B gap. All right, that's our sift technique by the backside tackle. And the most important thing there, and the thing we struggle with teaching our guys, is we never want to turn our shoulders out into that defensive end. We want to maintain our shoulders square upfield, okay? Contact with the outside surface. Keep your eyes in the B gap, and we'll stay on that end as long as we can until somebody threatens. So in effect, if we've got a 5-man box, we are blocking 5-4-5 inside there. All right, if we move to the next slide on the right, which is ace with front side edge pressure. So we have our tackles in a 2-point stance. Everybody's up so we can see what's going on. The right tackle is covered, and now he's got a blitzer outside, or a second man outside of him. All right, whenever we get that, that is what we call an alert call. All right, the right tackle, I've got a man on and a man outside. I'm going to say alert, alert, and then my center is going to answer west, west. Excuse me. Oh, I got the wrong direction here. That's east. That's an east call. All right, a little dyslexia there. So he's going to answer east, east. So we are pushing the zones all to the right here, or to the east. So we've got the blitzer. We know that the Sam is going to blitz, so the tackle's got him. We expect an inside move here, so the guard's got him. We expect an inside move, so the center's got him. The guard, things don't change for him. He's going to clear that A gap. Now for us, when the backside tackle hears that east call, all right, alert east, he is no longer going to sift. We are going to send him right away up to the B gap. And that alert call tells our quarterback, all right, now that we're going to read that end man on the line of scrimmage, because we are pushing everything to the east or to the right there when the tackle makes his alert call. So that's how we handle the 4-down single linebacker look. We call it Okie now. It's the 3-down, but it's still in that same 5-man box family. It's 3 down, 2 inside linebackers. All right, starting from the front side here on Zoro even. All right, we've got an uncovered guard. We make a tag call. For us, that means tackle and guard work together to the front side linebacker. We make a cab call, center and backside guard work together to the backside linebacker. And if I'm that backside tackle, I hear cab and I know I have an uncovered B gap, I've still got my same sift technique that I had versus the 4-down. Okay. Now, that Okie front or 3-2 gives us front side edge pressure. All right, we make an alert call. Tackle is covered, and he's got a man outside him. He's got 2 guys on him. He says alert, alert. The answer is east there, not west. Okay, and now our right tackle handles the edge blitzer. Our guard handles the man on the tackle. All right, our center's got the A gap. Now, what we've started to see a lot more of up by us is America's zone blitz, where that I have him drawn as an R. We call him the Raider. He's now, instead of spiking to the B, he's going to spike all the way down into the A gap. So here's where you really have to get your center to shuffle and take that A gap. All right, game plan wise, you know a team's going to give you that stunt. Center's got to shuffle and take the A. So we'll end up with a double team on that Raider for a little while. Okay, Mike should be blitzing the B gap there. The guard would eventually come off on him. All right, but we would set that edge there with the center. What happens with young kids is they tend to climb to the linebacker too early. Your guard steps B and gets beat inside by that Raider. He forces the tailback out wide into that Mike linebacker blitzing the B gap. So real important that center doesn't leave the line of scrimmage too early. Shuffle, protect the A, okay? Be ready for that stunt. As he shuffles, if he sees the Mike going over the top of the Raider, he should know what's going on and be ready to close that lane for the Raider right there. On the backside, again, we're pushing everything strong, so the guard's got the nose, and the backside tackle climbs immediately. So that's how we're going to handle the 2 5-man boxes we see the most, 4-down single linebacker and the 3-2 front. Doug, any questions on those 2 schemes, or we can move on? We're going to move on.
Yeah, we can move on, Coach. Sorry, just unmuting.
Okay.
Good.
So now you get a 4-2 box. Okay. 4-2 box, tackle's covered, he's a solo guy. Center's uncovered, he says cage. For us, that's center and guard to the front side. So those two are working that stack right there. All right, on the back side, all right, we've got a 3 technique, so our guard makes an under call. All right, tackle now has an immediate B gap threat, so we're going to double that 3 technique up to the backside linebacker. We can block 5 guys, 3 on the front side, 2 on the back side. So now it turns into a read. Okay, the quarterback looks, but after he's checked out his throws, he looks to the backside B gap. There's somebody there, so this tackle can't sift. The tackle's got to come down in the B. So now I know if we are not throwing the ball, I've got to read that Raider. Okay, we're going to tell our quarterback to hand the ball off. Okay, if there's any doubt. If the Raider bends hard to tackle the tailback, that's when we pull the ball. All right, always tell my quarterbacks, when in doubt, hand it off. All right, if you keep the ball and that Raider's not bending hard, we lose 5 yards. All right, if you make a mistake and you give the ball to a guy who's bending, well, we may lose 1 yard. We may break a tackle because that tailback's headed forward and not lose any yardage. But when in doubt, hand the ball off. Now, even front, another 4-2 box, but now they're shaded away from the tailback. Here's where the big plays come in. All right, front side, it's A, B, and C gap. Backside guard is going to base that, and like Jack Peavy says, clear that A gap. We've got nice wide splits here, good 3-foot split. The tailback, if we look at the center, who's the closest guy to the center? Well, it's this nose guard. So the tailback is going to attack the cheek right here, the right cheek of the left guard. He's coming downhill in here. We're going to try to get that linebacker to play over the top, and we're going to try to wind that ball back into the open B gap on the backside. Our sift technique does just enough to create space there. The 3-foot split, the left tackle putting a hand on that end and not coming off the end until this linebacker attacks the B, all right, is what gives us the big play. If that tailback really hits it up in here nice, he can get that linebacker to play here, and now we've got nobody in that B gap when we wind it back. So that's what we're looking to do when we've got the 3 technique away from the back.
Hey, Coach.
Go back.
Hey.
Yes.
Okay, so questions coming in now. So on Zoro, please explain when to sift and when not to sift.
Okay, good question. We are going to sift whenever there is no immediate threat in the B gap, whenever there's no B gap down lineman. So if we go back to the 5-man box, right here, the nose is in a 1. There's no threat in the backside B gap. I sift. No threat in the backside B gap. Okay, I'm going to sift. And I know on this call, it's alert east, so I know I'm going strong. Okay, here, do I have an immediate threat in my backside B? No, so I know I'm going to sift. It's a 5-man box. In these 2 fronts, it's a 5-man box. Our tackle is able to sift and stay on. When I get the 6-man box, well, now there's an extra guy in there. Now there's a chance they can have that guy in the backside B. So the guard, here he has a backside B gap player. The guard makes an under call. Under, tells the tackle, you're going to work with the guard. The sift is off. You're going to help me, and we're working up to this stack. If the 3 technique were away from the back, like in this instance, well, is the B gap threatened? No B gap threat. Now I can sift. We'd like to hit the ball up into that B gap bubble. If I can go back to the tailback for a second. All right, in the under front. Well, who's closest to the center? It's this nose guard. All right, he's lined up on our guard. So I'm going to attack the play side cheek of our front side guard. Big difference in aiming point based on where the shade is. All right, in over, hey, I'm really in the backside A gap where I'm starting to hit this thing. All right, in the under front, I'm really in the front side B gap where I'm starting to hit it. And again, what am I trying to do by being the front side B gap? I'm trying to get that mic to commit there so that I can block that mic, and then this center can expand the nose laterally and allow me to cut up vertical in that front side A, or if I get a lot of pressure there, cut back behind the linebacker, or maybe even cut that all the way back behind the 3 if we get a lot of movement laterally from the 3 technique. So it's important that the running back, all right, knows his aiming point, attacks the line of scrimmage, cuts on the heels of the offensive line. We don't want to make our cut too early. We want to get into the line of scrimmage, get to our aiming point, one cut, and get north and south. All right, down at the bottom we have a couple, we call them eagle fronts. All right, in this one it's a 6-man box where they took the nose and moved them over on our center. Okay, it's the same as our over front, but they've moved the nose on the center. So now we make a rub call with our center and backside guard. The center's front side A gap is not threatened. He's going to pick his right foot up and put it down, but on his second step, he can get into, excuse me, guys, he can get into that nose guard, give us a little presence so our guard can get over him. Again, we've got a 3-foot split there. If this center were to vacate right away, we might get too much penetration by the nose. So we make a rub call here. We pick our right foot up, put it down, because we always step right on Zoro even. All right, second left foot comes through the middle of the crotch of the nose, and then our eyes are on that Mike, who is the guy we expect to be in that front side A gap. How does the back tie in? All right, the back is now, center's covered. He's going to aim for the center's play side cheek. That should get that Mike down in that gap. We block the Mike. We get some movement on the nose, and then we bring it back here into this open B gap.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, back on your alert call, does anything cancel that alert call, like if both alley players are blitzing?
No, we have nothing cancels the alert call. We always make an alert call. If both alley players, if we were getting a cover 0 look, occasionally we might check to a 3-step drop there if we had to. But no, nothing cancels our alert. We're always pushing it front side. We might get the ball out in a key screen. If we've got double pressure, one of our key screens might look good for us, where we can check out to a fade route there. All right, and here's just one more example. You've got an under call to the backside. You've got the Okie front to the front side, so nothing's changed for our guys. Quarterback knows, under call, backside B gap threat. We're going to double the 3, so now I have to read here. All right, when the quarterback didn't have the under call, open B gap, now we know he can hand the ball off right away. We like the SIF technique because we don't have great running quarterbacks. So I want to get the ball into the hands of the tailback. If I had a great running quarterback, I probably wouldn't need the SIF. I'd send my backside tackle right up to that linebacker. Okay. But for me, having run zone for almost 12, 13 years, really getting the SIF technique down now without having a great running quarterback has helped us a lot, because it gives us tremendous options. If I have a great runner, I can tell my backside tackle, hey, go right now. If we don't have a great runner there, hey, let's sift that backside B gap and then try to get the ball handed off as much as possible.
Hey, Coach. Hey, Coach, it's Nate. As always, top drawer. Do you have any specific coaching points versus a 6-man box with 2 head up, 2 techniques?
2 head up, 2 techniques, meaning on our tackles?
Yes.
Well,
the guard. No, Coach, on the guards. My bad. On the guards.
So a bear look. Is it a open cylinder? Nobody on the center?
Yeah, you're right. Right. No one on the center.
This front right here, ace, an ace front with
yes.
2 techniques.
Yeah, well, exactly.
Right. We've got to cage that to the mic, and then what's going to happen on the backside is we're going to treat a 2 technique like an under call, because we don't know if he's in a 2. We don't know. He could be coming into this B gap. He could be coming into that A gap. So we would coach that 2 technique to the backside as an under call. We're going to double that, and now our quarterback would know he would need to read the end man on the line of scrimmage.
Okay.
So
all right, good. That's awesome. Were you going to go over like a 4-2-5 look, I think, next?
So here's your 4-2 look, right?
All right, there you go.
So there it is. So I've got 2. If those shades are in 2s, we cage that stack right there. Okay, we double to that stack and we double to the backside stack. We treat a 2 and a 3 the same. Both of those are an under call for us. Does that work?
Yep.
Okay. The last two, a lot of guys, or some guys around us run a 3-3 stack look. Okay. In the 3-3 stack now, we tag to the front side stack, we cab to the backside, to the center stack, and then we'll sift to the backside stack here. Obviously, these guys are all playing games, and this is why zone is such a nice play against this type of a defense. It allows you to take care of all that movement that you get. And if we see this 3-3 stack, a lot of this, we like to get into a 3-1 to try to force them out of what they want to do and make them uncomfortable. But if we call it and we get that 3-3 look, that's how we handle it. Tag to the front side stack, cab to the middle stack, and sift the backside stack. If the end were to come inside hard there, he'd get blocked down, and now the read would become that linebacker who's probably on a move as well. Against Bear, which we saw once this year, once in about 2 years, we solo the front side, we base the nose, and we under to the backside linebacker. That's how we're going to handle that. I think you got to practice against this once or twice in the summer, just so that your kids don't get crazy when it happens in a game if somebody jumps into it. Again, we rarely see it, but when we do, we know what our answer is. So I will touch on some of the blocking as I get into the full play now. So first call, dual right, Zoro odd, key 1, smoke 2. Now, that's a lot of verbiage. At Ramapo High School, we've cut that down. So we still have dual right as a formation, which is a signal. Now, for us, Zoro odd, going to the left, maybe that's Lucky this year. Maybe that's Limes this year. I don't know. We're going to have a one-word name for Zoro odd. The package of key 1 and smoke 2, all right, will be a one-word name for us as well. So I'll have a formation signal, a play signal, Zoro odd, and then a signal that means we run key 1 and we run smoke 2. So what is key 1 and smoke 2? Well, for us, key 1 is the key screen to the outside wide receiver to the number 1. So right now we are running key 1 over here to the right. The outside receiver is going to step up and then step back, and he's going to look to catch the ball, all right, and get us 4 yards. All right, this is a downhill running play to an outside wide receiver. Step up, step back, catch, tuck, plant, and be a physical runner up the field. When these guys start dancing, that's when you lose yardage. All right, what happens is you catch it, you get 4 by getting up the field hard. You catch it, you get 4 by getting up the field hard. You catch it, you make one move, and now you create a big play. So for us, that's an attitude that we like to get going with those guys. So key 1 is the signal here to the right. Now, our Y in dual right, our Y always goes to the right. So we run key 1 to the Y side. So when I have my signal for key 1, smoke 2, well, how do they know which side to do it? For us, for Ramapo, wherever the Y is, that side runs key 1. The Y has what we call a push kick on the corner. The deeper the corner is, the more vertical you can get up the field to try to affect this outside linebacker. All right, the tighter the corner, the faster you have to get there. If it's a press corner, that is a straight line. If I have a press corner right there, he goes and gets it right now. All right, again, the deeper he is, the more I can push up the field before I kick that. Okay, on the other side, we run key 2. All right, our F is our key 2 guy. He's our big play slot receiver, usually the fastest and most elusive guy on our team. Okay, the X here, all right, he's got most dangerous, and the Y's rule is most dangerous as well. When this outside backer is apex, the Y's most dangerous, we consider it to be the corner. All right, on this side, we have a linebacker apex, so the X receiver would say the most dangerous is this corner. The F on his key 2 should take a couple steps on a 45 and then backpedal to the sideline, looking to get over the top of the X's original alignment. Okay, we would like key 2 here and key 1 to be thrown for the quarterback almost in the exact same spot. All right, and X has most dangerous man there. Now, how do we figure out what we're going to do here? All right, the line is blocking Zoro odd. All right, the inside zone play. The back's running inside zone just like he did before. The quarterback, we're going to pre-snap read from the smoke to the key. So for us, smoke is to the front side on Zoro odd. Smoke is to the left. Key is to the right. That's how we think about it. So we're going to evaluate the front side first, the back side second. If we like either one of those throws, the quarterback is going to catch the ball, and as quickly as he can, he's going to catch and throw and get the ball out there right away. All right? In this case, we've got to block one player in order to get 5 yards. I don't know how many plays in football there are that you can block one guy and get 5 yards. That's a great situation for us. Same thing over here. We get one guy blocked. I think we're going to get 5 yards before either one of those two apex linebackers can get there. So it's catch and throw. Some guys think, these are, one coach in our league says, his quarterback throws the ball down the field for touchdowns. We don't just throw the ball outside. He thinks these are cheap throws. Well, they're really not. You've got to have a quarterback with a good arm. He's got to throw a hard, firm pass because the longer the ball takes to get out here, okay, the more time these apex defenders have to get out there to your key screens. That ball needs to be thrown on the upfield eyeball, all right? Right on that upfield eyeball is where we want it. It can't be thrown away from the line of scrimmage. I can't take my Z back 5 yards, okay? I can't take my F back 5 yards. This thing needs to be thrown for his upfield eyeball. Okay, so let's talk about the quarterback's decision-making process. How do we evaluate whether to throw the key or not? We use a simple count system. Right now, I have 2 receivers to the front side or smoke side. Let me try to get my...
Hey, Coach, can I jump in with a question real quick?
Absolutely.
Okay, so Coach Bud says, we ran smoke and key off our inside zone. Defenses started to cross face with the play side D-line and force the ball to the play side linebacker. Do you ever block the backside linebacker with the slot?
Okay, cross face.
Want me to read it again?
Yeah, if you would.
Okay, so we ran smoke it and key off of the inside zone. Defenses started to cross face with play side D-line and force the ball to the play side linebacker. Do you ever block the backside linebacker with your slot receiver?
We have not done that. We haven't blocked any of the inside linebackers in a 4-2. We've blocked outside linebackers with our slots in the past. I know down in the red zone and the goal line, sometimes you have to block instead of key. You have to go get those guys. But that we've never blocked the inside backers. At times we've blocked those outside backers with our slots, but we'd prefer to throw key on that. So talking about how we evaluate whether to throw the key or not, what we tell our quarterback is, all right, if we have numbers, mean a numerical advantage over the defense, we're going to throw the key. We count any defenders that are 5 yards or under and on our 2 receivers. So if I look at this front side smoke right now, a team that's playing cover 3 zone, and I'll be honest with you, this is a defense we don't see anymore. But if they were playing cover 3 zone with an apex outside linebacker, well, there's nobody on our F and there's nobody on our X closer than 5 yards. We're going to throw this ball every single time. All right? If for some reason this corner got up there and he was pressing us and the quarterback didn't like that for some reason, but he should throw the key here every time. If he doesn't, I don't yell at him. We talk about it on film. Hey, why didn't you throw that one? I thought it looked good. And sometimes he's not comfortable with it for whatever reason. We don't get on him on that. He's got to be very confident in these throws. So he doesn't like the front side smoke. Then he comes to the backside key, and we use the same counting system. So how many guys are within 5 yards and on our receivers? Well, we've got 2. In my opinion, right now, they have 0. Maybe you count this Will as a half guy. All right. Well, it would still be 2 to 1 half. So we think we can get that corner blocked with our Y, give the ball to our Z, and by the time the Will gets out there to tackle it, we've got our 5 or 6 yards. So if we were to see this defense, the chances of us running the football are pretty slim. We're probably going to throw it. If he didn't like either key, the smoke or the key, what would the quarterback do? He would look in the backside B gap. He would listen for an undercall. The backside B gap is open. So at Ramapo, he knows he's going to hand that ball off. Okay? If I had a great running quarterback and I wanted to send this backside tackle up there right now, then I would be reading that end on the line of scrimmage. But we think we can sift, get a good piece of him before we climb to the buck linebacker, and that we have a nice open B gap there to run the football. All right, a defense we have a better chance of seeing, the 6-man box with cover 1. Now they're going to man us up out here. So, same deal for the quarterback. He's going to evaluate front side smoke to backside key. X has got most dangerous man. Well, now there's a Will linebacker on our F. He's on him. And now it depends on the depth of this corner. If the corner is playing off man, we will push, crack the Will, and we will try to get the ball to the key here. Off the push crack, if it's cover 1 man, the corner should jump that. We get a little 2 for 1. We catch the ball and we're down the sideline. If for some reason both guys are in press, the quarterback sees it as a 2 for 2 and says, well, coach, this corner is too close. It's 2 against 2. He comes to the backside. Okay? He comes to the backside and he evaluates that. We have 2. Well, they definitely have 1 guy at 5 yards. He's probably playing up. What kind of man is he playing? Is he playing off man? Is he playing tight man? If he's off man, our Y would block the man on him and we'd go 1-on-1 with the corner. If it's tight man, the Y would say that press corner is most dangerous and he would go get him. Now, if the corner's up, the quarterback's count is 2 for 2. So why are we running out here to block him? Well, we're running here to block him because now we get that Sam running out there too. All right, he's in much less of a position to be able to be a part of making a tackle late on the zone play. All right, so that's why we would go get that corner right now. We would treat that press corner as most dangerous to key 1. So we don't like the smoke. We don't like the key. Check the backside B gap. What do we got? I've got a man in the backside B gap. I've got an undercall. So now I have to read this rate. We call him a raider or defensive end. If he plays up the field, we're going to give the football. If he bends, we're going to keep the ball to the outside here. All right. And again, if it's tight man, we got that guy running out. You don't have to be a great running quarterback. This year I had my kid slide. He had a great arm. He was a bad runner. Hey, get me 6, get me 8, slide on the ground. And now this guy's got to be aware of that. So if you've got a stud there, hey, that's touchdown city. If you don't have a stud, get all you can, get on the ground. It's going to force this backside defensive end into some indecision.
Hey, coach, do you a couple questions here. So do you mess with any of the zaps off the zone or are you just throwing the keys?
We're just throwing the keys. I'm not exactly sure what a zap is.
Coach, I think he means pops. Do you
pops? Okay.
Do you do pops or locks off of that as well as keys?
Yep. We got a lot of stuff. This is the base play. This is the starting point. And, you got to get good at step 1 before you get to step 2, step 3, et cetera. We have a package where we run Colt, which is zone with the backside fan, and we're throwing stick routes and things like that. But in the base package, we like zone and key as our starting point.
Coach,
go ahead, Coach.
Have you eliminated the through block on this and now only sift?
I think those are synonyms, right? I think the through block and the sift block are the same thing. Just a different word for the same technique.
Yeah.
Now, you get a quarters look. So now they're not going to let you throw the ball out here. They're going to play 2-over-2 in quarters, right? Most quarters teams, those safeties become the extra run defenders in the box. Those outside linebackers have an outside leverage. Corners can play press man. They can play off. They can do some different things, okay? Now we've got what we call an ace front, a single linebacker look. Well, we're zoning our play side gap, but as a play caller, you got to figure out, well, who's defending that B gap, right? Who's the guy that's responsible for that B gap? And your linemen have to kind of figure that out. If we get this Mike linebacker to play over the top into that B, and that's why that tailback's aiming point is so important. Right here, the 3 technique is to the back. The 1 technique or A gap player is away from the back. We need to run for the butt cheek of the man closest to the center, who's blocking closest to the center. So this is guy closest to the center. We're going to take this for the left butt cheek of the left guard. So by starting this ball here, we're actually trying to get that Mike linebacker into that B gap. All right, our guard's going to come off on him. Our center's going to clear the nose, and now we've created that nice running lane right down the middle here. To the backside, to a 3. Well, this guard needs to know, all right, I've got the front side A. But when the Mike goes over the top, who's the front side A gap defender? Well, right now, they don't have one, unless they're asking this safety to do that. So now we can actually get a little vertical push here. We can stay on this double team. And, we're expecting maybe that safety to come down, try to play that gap late. But now we get good movement on that 3. We cut that safety off, and we've got a big run in there. So they decide they don't want to play it that way. Okay, then you can follow the red lines. They decide they're going to play that Mike linebacker downhill in the A. All right, well, my backside guard, my right guard has the A gap, so he's got that. Now I'm getting some vertical push here, and I'm on this angle right across, all right, for the left cheek of the center. Who's going to play that gap? Is it a safety coming down late? In quarters, he'd probably be the guy. So we get good movement on that nose. If the Mike plays the A, I'll take my tailback against your safety in an open B gap. All right, we should be able to make a play there. We're starting at 6. He's starting at 8. Hey, I'll take that anytime. If he shows up early, this guard, he knows I've got B gap. Maybe we get him off on that safety and we bring it up inside there. Again, the quarterback evaluated the smoke to the front side. All right, we got a push crack. Did he like it? Maybe. He might have thrown it. If he didn't like it, he checked the backside. Well, that corner's off. He might have thrown that key. If not, we're going to run the ball against that box right there. Same ace defense, but now they're playing cover 2. Where we are cover 2, generally the outside linebackers are going to apex that. So they're in the halfway. I'm trying to get my pointer here. Sorry, fellas. Outside linebackers are halfway. So good chance that will linebacker could be filling the B gap. If the Mike is playing downhill in the A, if the Mike is playing over the top in the B, then they're probably asking that Sam to help him back there. Maybe they're spiking a tackle inside. But we're going to handle these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys with our 5 offensive linemen for the most part. If you're cheating these backers into the box, well, that's when we should be throwing key game out here. All right, this time we got a hard cover 2 corner. We're going to tell our X, he has got to get to the outside number. Toes to the goal line, but he is attacking the outside number of that corner. As our X attacks the corner's outside number, what's that corner taught to do? Well, he better not get a reach. So he's going to fight to the sideline. He's going to fight the reach. So by staying square on that, fighting that to the sideline, we now have a chance to duck that ball up inside right there. So that's what we want to do with our X when he's got a hard corner on key 2. Talked to you before about key 1. The Y, he's got a hard corner. He's going to go right now. Maybe he gets a step up the field. This is all practice. How much up the field can I get and still get to that corner? But Again, if this Sam linebacker is messing around in the box, we're going to throw it to Z, block the corner, get north and south, get our 4 to 5 yards. We get the 3-down look now. We got a 3-2 box or another 5-man box. All right, we've got cover 2. We want to run the ball. And evaluate your front side smoke. Evaluate your backside key. Okay, depending on where these outside linebackers are playing, you might throw that. The wider that outside linebacker is, the more likely we are to hand the ball off against a 5-man box. You know? Again, this is one base play that could end up thrown here, handed off a run. We've got 4 options, and we've got an answer, in my opinion, to anything the defense does. So now you get the 3 down front, and now we start to see some alerts. Okay, now we start to see some edge pressure. Here's front side edge pressure. Where we are, we see front side edge pressure with some type of roll to 3. So now, thing we talked about before about America's zone blitz. Center, don't be in a hurry. Back in the good old days, all we were going to get was B gap and C gap. Well, now what do we see? Now we see the long stick. Now we see this long stick into the A, and we see this Mike in the B and this Sam in the C. So the tackle makes his alert call. The center answers. This time it is west-west, going to the left. The tackle's got that edge blitzer. The center and guard have to handle the tackle on the long stick and the Mike linebacker. Hopefully we cut this defense here at the center. This nose is stunting this way. We can handle him. And now the tailback who's running it front side off of that. Since the center was covered, he's running for the front side cheek of the center. He's going to head it up right in that A gap. He sees the nose go away. Hopefully the center has cut off that long stick, and we can take this thing right down the middle. Since we made an alert call, we're sifting on the backside. So now, we're no longer sifting on the backside because we have an alert call. So now we're reading the end, and our backside tackle's going right away. All right? Anytime we go alert west, the sift is off, and it's true zone read on that defensive end. If you get the blitz from the weak side, all right, from the side of the back, well, our front side guard and tackle, they stay on their tag. Our center and backside guard stay on their linebacker. And now our backside tackle, we don't make an alert call on the backside. We only alert the front side. And the nice thing for us is we've carried that alert call over into almost every one of our plays. So our tackle, whether it be pass protection, whether it be zone, whether it be giants, he always knows that if he's got an edge blitzer to the front side, he's going to alert, and alert has an answer in all those different plays. So it's very consistent for us. It's not something they do just some of the time. And the more consistent you can make it, the better. So the big block here is your backside tackle. He's got the B gap. He should be smart enough to say, whoa, I got a blitzer coming here. What's this end going to do? Well, 99% of the time he's headed inside. So I know right now, hey, I've really got to protect that backside B. And probably getting the nose coming strong as well. So good chance we can cut this thing back, all right, behind that backside tackle for a big run. All right. Again, base play, dual left. Now, all we did was switch the formation. We're still running Zoro odd, but now the key is key 2. So the backside is the key 2 play, and the front side is the smoke 1. I would say for me as a play caller, I want to put the Y into the boundary when I am running keys and smokes. I want to run my key 1 into the boundary and my key 2 to the field. Again, this is my F is my speed athlete. He's my better guy in space. I want to get him to the field. All right, keep my wide out into the boundary, make it a little less for that Y to go in terms of getting his block. So in general, when we're running this play, we're going to have the Y into the boundary and the F to the field. So it's just a 4-2 box look here. So it's the same thing we've been talking about. Now, depending on the talent of your quarterback, if your quarterback, let's say you've decided that you don't want to sift, you've got a running quarterback, and you're going to let that quarterback climb to that linebacker, that backside tackle climb right away, and you're going to read the end, and the end squeezes to take that away, and your quarterback now is keeping the football. Okay, the guy we had 2 years ago, he was talented enough that if this kid came off of the key, he was talented enough to throw the ball out into the key after making his initial pull read and run the ball. So that really put a lot of pressure on this kid. He comes out there initially to defend the key. He sees we're not throwing it, right? Because what do? We catch and throw those keys. So now he knows as soon as the quarterback goes down with the ball, puts it for the read, he thinks we're not throwing a key, so he starts to come back hard. The quarterback is keeping the ball. He can just raise up, shoot that thing out there, and we've got a big play down the sideline. So depending on the talent and ability of your quarterback, that's another phase of the offense that you can get to. And 2 years ago, we had a guy that could do that. The guy we had this past year wasn't a runner, so that wasn't something that we incorporated with the play. Okay, now let's start to add to this thing. All right, our next step after duel is to go to our trio formation. So now we're going to put 3 guys, usually for us, out to the field, although we can play formation sideline as well. Okay, so we've got 3 guys to the field. We've got 1 to the boundary. We're going to run it trio right, Zoro odd. So we're going to run it to the single receiver side. We are going to key 2, and we're going to smoke 0. For us, 0 is a hitch route. So our smoke to the X is going to be a hitch route that we ask our quarterback to evaluate. We have also done smoke 1 and just had the single receiver run a key 1 with no block. All right. I kind of like the hitch a little better. Let me get my 5 or 6 yards on the throw and go from there. But we've done both of those to that front side. Okay. So now the quarterback looks, and in this case, we've got the 6-man box. They've taken a linebacker over and they've adjusted to our trio. So he's got an easy shot here to the X. This is what Noel calls his gift route. All right. They are giving you a gift here. Why bother trying to block these 6 guys? Throw the ball to him and take the 6 yards. All right. If the quarterback, maybe that corner's pressing, maybe my guy's not as good as that guy, we're not sure about this. Okay. We decide not to throw the smoke. So now he comes over and evaluates the key 2. Well, let's use our count system here. I've got 3. How many do they have within 5 yards? I count 2 within 5 yards and a soft corner. So we can throw that key right here. Now, first thing we're going to do here, how we're going to coach this, is our Y is going to make a call. Okay? If our Y can't get the number 2 guy blocked here, there's 1, there's 2, he's going to say cab, cab, cab. All right? If the Z has an off corner, his answer to cab is got it. All right? And this is a really important. We've lost yardage on this big time when we didn't communicate this properly. All right? Why? We got to block the 2 most outside guys. Well, number 2 is outside of me. I don't have an angle on him. I say cab, cab, cab. The Z says got it, got it, got it. The Z cracks. The Y goes flat and kicks the corner. We're running away from this will. Catch the ball. Get upfield between that cab block. I should be able to get at least 5 or 6 yards. Now, the one thing that we don't do, that Noel does when he runs this, I believe, or he did it at times, is he'll take that Z and put him on the line of scrimmage. He'll take that Y and he'll move him off the line of scrimmage. Well, what does that do? That gets the Z there faster, creates a better angle, and it allows the Y to be even flatter. I haven't been comfortable messing with their alignments on that yet. For us, Y is always an on-the-ball guy. F is always an off-the-ball guy. Z reads if he's got a Y to his side, he's off. no Y to your side, you're on. That's how we do it. We have a right wide receiver and we have a left wide receiver. But I think that's a good, if you feel confident with that, you could take your Y off and move your Z on when you cab it. If this corner is pressed or tight, now the Z gets a cab call from Y because there's two guys out here. Y can't get to him. So he says, cab, cab, cab. Z says, well, you know what? If I cab, this kid's going to beat that Y and smash my guy in the face, possibly intercept the ball. So now Z answers on. All right? The Z answers on, and now the Y, hey, we're going to do our best to go get him. All right? But we think that protects that key the best there. Same play, different defense. We've got a 3-2 box. We've got an outside linebacker blitzing. So what do? We make an alert call here. All right, alert means we're all pushing it. Means the quarterback knows he's reading the end man on the line of scrimmage. All right, with an alert call, with a will blitz here, I should have a pretty clear look at the smoke. I can catch and throw the smoke. If I didn't like the smoke because of press or for any other reason, maybe that backer got a little wide, anything took me off the smoke, I'd come to the key. All right. Here's a situation where this strong safety is playing tight on our F. Now we have some other things to take advantage of this, but if we've got the key called, Y is going to say cab, cab, and the Z is going to say, you know what, I don't think I can get to him. So the Z is going to answer double, double. All right, double, double. So now the Y and the Z are going to double the most dangerous guy. And we're going to, Noel says, get the play started. This has been very good for us. If that's a cover 3 off corner and I'm giving the ball to my best player and he's going to go one-on-one with the corner out here, all right, we're going to make some yardage. Get the play started. Don't let this guy, this guy on number 2 be somebody who destroys your play. All right. All right, this is another look that we've seen from some teams. We've got a 4-2 box with 2 high. Well, smoke 0. I don't want to run a hitch route into 2 high. We turn that into a fade route. Okay? Most of the time, this safety will probably be off the hash, all right, into the boundary. All right, they've got that X doubled, so we're not going to go to the smoke. All right, but instead of getting in a fight with this corner trying to block him, go ahead and run your fade route. So we come off the smoke. We're looking at the key. Now, what do the numbers look like? I've got 3. Okay. They've only got 2 with a safety. We're going to throw this key every time. We had one ball game 2 years ago where we threw this 17 times to our F, all right, in one ball game. All right, 17 times. He caught key 2 because we had 3-on-2 here. And we just kept running it. All right. If for some reason the quarterback didn't like it, he could come back and use his zone read technique. This is an open B gap. So at Ramapo, we would sift. All right. We would try to hold off that end. We'd try to knock this nose out, displace the A gap, and we'd try to start here and bring it back into that open B. Here's another look, all right? And this I put this in here because it kind of shows how evaluating the smokes and keys help us count the box, all right? X is doubled. He's got a corner and a safety, so we're not throwing the smoke. They've got 1, 2, 3 guys now. They took the outside linebacker, brought him over. They've got 3-on-3. We don't throw the key when the numbers are even, 3-on-3, so we're not throwing the key. So now I'm going to come back to my box. Well, if I've got 3-on-3 here and 2-on-1 there, I've only got a 5-man box. We want to run the football. All right, we want to run the football here. All right, this was an example of the Y wanting to make a cab call to the Z. The Z's got a hard corner. He says, we can't cab the hard corner. He answers back. When the Y says cab, cab, Z comes back and says on. Can't cab it. He blocks the corner, and the Y goes and gets the Sam. Again, in this look, this might be a cover 2-man look. All we're trying to do is occupy these 3 guys with a safety over the top and run the ball now into our 5-man box. So we've got dual, we've got trio. Now we start to add a little bit more window dressing. All right, window dressing for us here now is F quick motion. We start in dual. Now I probably got Y to the field. All right, we are going to motion back into the backfield. All right, this is a full speed motion. We tell the quarterback to snap the ball when the F gets to the outside foot of the tackle. The ball comes to the quarterback. He snapped it there, and the ball should cross, and then the F should be right on the heels of the ball. Takes a little timing to get it right, but it should be ball, F, tailback. 1, 2, 3. Okay? Now, what we tell our quarterback here. Right now, there's 2 on 2 outside. Okay? We're going to add the F to this. So if we don't get movement from the defense, if they don't run a linebacker out or roll a safety down, we are going to throw the ball to the F. When it is F quick motion, and here's a finer point that got us. On F quick, we want to have a little bit of a ride to the tailback. What are we doing when we ride the tailback? Well, the first thing we're doing is we're letting the F get out there. Because if I were to catch and throw off the snap, well, the F's only, right. By the time I catch the ball, the F is about the B gap. I'm not ready. He's not ready to catch the ball yet. So I need to let him get a little bit more width. The other thing that teams can do to you on this F quick motion is they might not run a secondary guy, but they might take that defensive lineman and run him out here to our Comet. So normally we are catch and throw, except when we have F quick Comet. F quick Comet tells our quarterback to give that tailback a ride. His initial read, safety stayed in the middle, will linebacker stayed in the middle. So as this ball is snapped, he's thinking, I'm going to throw the key. He puts the ball down to the tailback to confirm that this defensive lineman didn't run to the Comet. Okay? If the defensive lineman didn't run to the Comet, then he's going to throw it. If the defensive lineman did run to the Comet, then he would hand the ball off. This has been a very effective play for us. Probably haven't used it enough, but Comet motion, excellent, excellent, especially if the defense doesn't adjust to it. Okay, green fast, Zoro odd Comet. Now, Ramapo High School, we're a little bit different than UCLA. At Ramapo, we take our F, and he always goes away from the Y in green and blue. All right, for Noel, this would be green tear because Noel puts his T away from the Y and his F to the Y. We got this from Greenwich High School, and the reason we do it is we are a true, in green and blue, we don't want to take this F off the field, so we are really 10 personnel. He's not a running back. He's a receiver. He hasn't been taught to run inside zone. He hasn't been taught to run giants. So rather than spending that teaching time with him, we like motioning from 2 back to basically to a 3-and-1 set. So we keep him away from the Y in our green and blue. So our green fast is the same as Noel's green tear. All right. The same deal for the quarterback. Okay. What does he have to do? I've got 2 on 2 out here. I'm adding a guy. So if they don't move a linebacker, I am going to throw the ball out here. All right. If that safety rolls down, then they outnumber me. All right. Or they number me 3 on 3. We go to our handoff key. All right. If they run the linebacker out, we go to our handoff key. If nobody moves and they stay, we throw the ball out here. Now on fast motion, for us, our T's about, he's about 1.5 yards behind the quarterback. So we have room to sneak this motion right in between there. And that's what we do. That's what we've done this year. And it worked out well for us. You can motion him behind the T if your tailback's a little bit tighter. But this motion, the ball's usually snapped when he gets to about the tackle box. So now we don't feel like we have to worry about this defensive end getting to him. This guy's running full speed. we're going to out-leverage that defensive end. So now on Comet from green fast, our quarterback knows it's just catch and throw if he likes the Comet. We're not going to put the ball down and read. F quick, we put the ball down. Green fast, we don't put the ball down. Doug, how we doing? Everybody still awake, or did I lose you guys?
No, we're here, Coach. We're doing good. One thing it says is, do you still tag Smoke Zero to this?
You could. You definitely could. We haven't because the Comet's been so successful for us, but there's no reason that you can't. And early in the year, we weren't keying and smoking on everything we do. But as the year went on, we decided not to have our receivers do a lot of blocking. We had them run routes on almost everything. This is one example, though, where we didn't put anything on the backside, but there's certainly no reason that you couldn't.
Okay.
Show a couple cuts here. All right. This game, don't know if you're seeing it, but this team, we see it from two teams. This is a 4 down, 2 linebacker look. So it's a 6-man box, and they're playing a robber coverage. Right here is the down safety. Okay. Hash defender, corner, and corner. Well, 2 and 2 has a problem. If you give this robber team a 2 and 2 and they insist on being a 2 linebacker look, they've got an issue. They've probably got to play some man-to-man out here. So here we're running. I think I've got the wrong call here. This is dual left. No, excuse me. It is dual right. There's our Y, so it's dual right. Zoro odd. Key 1 over on this side and smoke 2 to the field. Well, our quarterback knows right now. He's looking at the smoke. Okay, we have 2-on-1. This is easy pickings. All right, easy 6-yard gain. I don't like what the front side receiver did here. Okay, he did not stay square on the outside number. All right, he needs to be better on the outside number there to get some more width on that. If you watch the quarterback, it's just catch and throw. Catch, throw, get the ball out there. All right, our guy had a real nice quick release that made him pretty effective in the key game. All right, if you want to take a look at the blocking inside. All right, so we're running Zoro odd. Center's got the A gap. Guard's got the B gap. Tackle's got the C gap. The center and guard should be working the 55 on the front side. Okay. Now on the back side, I can see my right guard's helmet. So he would base that, and we should be sifting. This is a sophomore right tackle, so we'll take a look at how well he does. Oh, pretty good. Stays square. Eyes here. He's working up to number 3. So if we had given the ball, all right, the ball would look to come back inside into that B gap right there. I got a couple looks at the same front here. Again, what do I like to do? I like the Y into the boundary. The key 1 is the short throw. The key 2 is going to be the longer throw. This football team played the 4-2 box. They put the extra defender to the Y side at the beginning of the game. So we're just going to run the same darn thing here. Now we're running Zoro even, key 1, smoke 2. Quarterback's going to go to the field with it. Catch, throw, get the ball there. And again, those are easy yards. We had to block 1 player to pick up that yardage. See if I can get the end zone look. All right, so it's Zoro even. So right tackle has the C, right guard has the B, center has the A. It looks like this big guy is an A gap player, so our tackle here should be able to sift. Now the one thing I have to say, we went 2 years ago, we were 265, 245, and 265 with our 3 inside guys. This year we were 195, 180, and 190 at 200 with our 3 inside guys. We weren't a great zone team because we were very small inside. But we are shuffling here to the A gap to protect that. We are sifting on the backside. And then just get that ball out there and make hay. So, enough of that, they said. It's still a 4-2 box, but now we're not going to let your best player to the field be open, so now they put the extra guy to the field. All right, still that robber-type coverage. All right, they're going to play 3-over-2 to the field, but they want to keep their 2 inside backers, so now they've got to be man-to-man to the boundary. Quarterback evaluates the smoke. He sees 1, 2 guys over 2. Don't like that. He looks to the boundary, sees the key. All right, 1 guy tight, 1 guy off. He's going to go into the boundary now.
Hey, Coach, why do you offset the key and the smoke and not have the and key 1 to both sides?
Why we don't run key 1 to both sides? Well, if you look to the field here, look how far that key 1 throw would be to the wide side of the field. Okay? For us, this guy in the slot, he's the guy we want to have the ball. He's our best run after catch guy. So to the field, I want to throw the key 2 ball. Okay? Well, our Y, for us, he's our on-the-ball wide receiver. He used to be a tight end when he was 6'4", 220, and went Division I AA. We had a couple of those guys. We were a different offense. Okay? Now we've got guys that are string beans, 6'2", 6'3", 185, 190. Well, now he's an on-the-ball detached Y. So, but he's still not the guy we want to run it, catch and run with the ball. So we're using him as a blocker, and we're going to get the ball to the outside receiver, who's our next best guy to that side. To the boundary or bottom of the screen, we've got a press corner, so we're going to go get him right now. There should be very little up the field. Yep, kid bailed, so we got on it, and our guy did a nice job of getting north and south there with the ball. I don't need a touchdown every time. I try to coach that. Get me 4, get me 5. Now, the one problem, this is worth taking a look at here. Okay, looks like to the zone side even. We've got C gap. We've got guard and center taking A and B. Okay, looks like we've got an A gap kid to the back. So we're looking for a B gap run if we hand the ball off. Tackle's doing his job. The edge kid just comes very wide, and the quarterback takes a shot in the mouth. He got hit pretty good on this one. So if that becomes a problem, what is your answer? Try to run the zone to the side where they're really coming hard off the ball. All right, we had to figure that out. This is early, still in the first quarter of this game. We didn't want them taking too many of those kind of hits as the game wore on. So same deal. They want it to be a 4-2 box. If they don't go 4-2, we run the football. If they give us a 4-1 box, we run. If they give us a 4-2 box, we throw.
Can you play that in slow-mo? It's a little choppy for us. If you hold down the slow-mo, it'll play well for us.
How's that, Doug?
That's good. Mm-hmm.
All right, so what? We have 3/2. His count is, I've got 2 guys. Hey, they've got 2 guys 5 yards or less. I'm coming away from there. Here, there's only 1 guy 5 yards or less, so I'm coming into the boundary. And we get the ball there. A lot of first-time guys in the system, one of the concerns is always that tailback quarterback mesh throwing the key. All right? If you watch our guy, right, he gets through before it's an issue for the quarterback. Now, I promise you that they will run into each other during training camp. All right? No big deal. Just fix the problem. Get the back through there quick. The backs start to be able to feel the quarterback. All right? They feel him out of the corner of his eye, what he's doing. He knows when the quarterback's going to put the ball down. He knows when he's going to throw it. So with repetition, it's not an issue. Our back is a little deeper than some. We're 2 yards behind the quarterback and we were on about the inside leg of the guard last year. Might have been a little much of a giveaway for us. We're going to look at possibly getting them 1 yard behind the quarterback and a little bit wider behind the outside leg of the guard. We feel that'll look a little bit more like our other alignments, okay, and still give us time and timing to get into the zone play. So we're going to go from 2 yards behind inside leg of the guard to 1 yard behind outside leg of the guard. That's our spring practice thing to look at. But there's your key one. Get north and south. Now you make one move, and the kid makes a heck of a play for us. Again, get north and south. Don't always look for the big play. It's a one-move football play. Could we have run the ball? And again, you're going to have some runs that would have been good when you throw these keys, but we get a lot out of this. You've got a nice double team here, working up to number 55 on the front side. We're base blocking 74 on the back side. Our left tackle is a sift player, so he got a little more of a hand on there. We don't want to turn the shoulders, but he knows he's working to number 3. So if this ball were handed off, our running back could take it right here or cut it back in this open backside B gap. Okay, now I've got another team. So now, what are we seeing? We're seeing a 3-2 box. Man coverage on this side, 2 for 2. Man coverage here, corner's a little bit off. Pretty sure this was a 2-man deal. So we're running dual left. He's our Y. Okay, we're running Zoro odd to the left. Key 2 out here to the field. Smoke 1 into the boundary. Okay, don't like my smoke. I think that corner's going to creep up. Don't like my key. It's 2 for 2, but I've got a 5-man box, so probably should be handed off here. And it is.
Coach, did you guys base the backside tackle on that one?
Okay, well, Zoro turns into Colt when there's no apex defender. We have 5 linemen. They have 5 defenders in the box.
Yep.
He is sifting to the outside linebacker.
Yep.
But where is the outside linebacker? Let's find him. All right. Our guy knows one of the reasons he's in a 2-point stance is so he can see. All right. 3 down, 2 inside backers. For us, we say tag, which means tackle and guard front side to the front side backer. We say cab, center and backside to the backside linebacker. So now I'm sifting if I'm the right tackle. Well, who am I sifting to? No need to sift to this guy out here, right? He's playing man coverage on the F.
Yep.
Who would I sift to? I'd probably sift to that safety. So that enables us to base block the 5-man front.
Awesome.
So Zoro becomes Colt based on what the defense presents itself with. Now, for some reason, our center didn't go backside like he was supposed to. We should have this kid's in a C gap. We're there. We're up here. The center should be back on number 15 here. It doesn't hurt us. We end up doubling the front side backer, finding some space, all right, and making a nice run. All right, here's another example. Same team, same situation. Now, could the quarterback have thrown the boundary smoke route? Well, that corner's kind of off. He's more than 5 yards. So when we watch film, I might have said to him, Sean, why didn't you throw that key into the boundary? Looks like we've got it. And, just to make him aware of that. Or that boundary smoke. It's front side, so we call it smoke. But again, it's basically key 1 technique for us. Why didn't you throw that? Look to the smoke first, the key second. We're definitely not throwing the key. 2 for 2 press. All right, so it's either throw it to the smoke or hand it off. Same thing as the last play. We have our 5-on-5. But we were throwing the ball out against this team, so they went 2-man. And again, if If they're going to play us in 2 deep, all right, man coverage, we want to run the ball against that 5-man box. Same team playing 2-man, but now we're in trio right. So now there's our Y, there's our F, our Z is out of the field. All right, here is our X into the boundary. We still have a 3-2 box. It's still 2-man. Quarterback, do you like the smoke into the boundary? Corner's at 5, coach. He's got a safety over the top. No. Do you like key 2 to the field? Well, no, coach. It's, sorry, man. Let's see if I can get back to that. There it is. So, to your left, all right, we don't like that key 2. You know, the nice thing is, look at the reaction we get out of those 3 guys. They're playing 2-man. You know, they're not looking back at the ball, so you're really taking pursuit away here. Now, that time our backside tackle could have stayed on. Not sure why he didn't. He's only a sophomore, 78, but here we go. Front side, tag. So 57 and 74 work into these 2. Cab, 55 and 64 work into the backside backer. 78 should be sifting to a defender who is nowhere near the box. He sifts, he puts his left hand on him, but his vision is on the wrong linebacker. We're headed front side here, nose goes away, so we get a pinch move there, and we take it to the outside. Okay, different team, similar defense. Boundary. Now this was not smoke. This was our first game of the year. We hadn't been smoking the front side on this, so it's trio left, Zoro even. So this guy is blocking or should be blocking number 9 because I don't think we made a smoke call there. He's blocking, so if there's no smoke, all your quarterback has to do is evaluate the key. They've got 3-on-3. We're not going to throw the key. We should be handing the ball off against a 5-man box. Talked about linemen earlier, about linemen leaving too early. If you're going to be a good zone team, you need to be patient here. You can't have your linemen getting up to that next level too soon. All right, we want to secure the down kid. Again, this is our first game of the year. I like the split here, giving us some good running room. We're probably a little tight with the right guard and center. Great job with the left tackle and left guard on their split. 64 should be shuffling the right guard into the B gap. Good shuffle. Slow down even more. No need to climb that soon. Get over a little bit more. Get a little more presence in that B. The center and the left guard on the nose. Now 74 did a pretty good job of shuffling. This guy's all the way backside. Don't go get him, 74. Wait for him to come to you. All right? And 57, he's a 3-year starter for us, going to Rutgers University. He's a pretty good offensive tackle. You can see him on his sift here. Okay? He's got the B gap taken away. He's got the outside hand. He's looking for presence inside and locks that thing up. Back bounces it. We get ourselves a pretty good football play. Same team later in the game. Okay. They went to a 4 down front. So now you've got 4 down, single linebacker. All right. We are not smoking this. If we were, would the quarterback throw the hitch there? Probably not. They got a corner deep and an outside linebacker off. So we're probably not throwing the hitch. But we look at the key. What are our numbers? Our numbers say key here. I've got 3. They've got 1 guy under 5 yards. Hopefully we throw the key on this. Nope. We handed it off. Still wasn't a bad play, but that should have been a key throw for our quarterback. Evaluate the box. It's a 5-man box, 4 down, single middle linebacker. Center is working to an A-gap player up to that mic. Okay, we looked at maybe that was double A's, so we're 3-on-3 in the middle, and 57 is using his sift technique on the backside. He does turn his shoulders, but look at that running lane he's created there. We'd like him to stay square. We'd like him to stay toes to the goal line, but he's created a good running lane, and hopefully as soon as this film starts, he'll now climb up the field. Yep, there he goes. Great job by him. Gets a piece there. That could have been more. Okay, I didn't diagram this one. This one ended up being a nice one for us in this ball game. Tripod for us is Y as number 2, F as number 3. I don't know if Noel differentiates or he just has the guys line up in this by play. So we went tripod right bunch. So now we're in a 3-man bunch here, and we are running Zoro odd, key 3. So now we're keying to the 3rd guy in bunch, and we've got a smoke 1 on the backside. Well, could he have thrown the smoke? Corners off, not sure about that outside linebacker. All right, he could have thrown the smoke 1. He declined that and decided to go to the key. Well, why? We've got 3-on-1 here. Take a look at the double technique by the Z and the Y. Z and Y are blocking zone. They're doubling this point man to the corner. So Z's looking to help. Z's looking to help. Z's looking to help. Y's got him. Climb up for the next level. Now, he didn't throw a block all year, but at least he made it look good. And then get the ball to your athlete in space and get vertical up the field. Okay, what do we have in the box? We got 3 down. All right, we are running Zoro odd, left tackle. You are covered, and you have a man outside you. Alert, alert. Center answers, west, west. So 57 is out here. Now here's where the center and guard have to handle this, all right? Is this man on the left tackle, is he going to be a B-gap guy, or is he going to be a long stick into the A-gap? Okay, he's long sticking that A-gap, and our center climbed too fast, all right? Right there, that guy is going to beat 74 to the inside, and our center is vacated. Our center needs to get hip to hip with 74, and we need to double that kid to cut that off. Now, we had a heck of a throw and catch here. Would we have had a pretty big run? You know, this is why the offensive line coach doesn't like this, doesn't like all this stuff. Boy, if we had handed the ball off there, we've got a heck of a running lane, all right, for our tailback. All that rushing yardage for the offensive line just disappeared. But as the quarterback coach, I kind of like this just as much.
Hey, question for you, Coach. So, did you do any formation into the boundary, or your high school, or are the hashes too close to the sidelines in high school?
No, we've done formation into the boundary. We didn't do it this year. We did it 2 years ago. We should do it. I like trio into the boundary, throwing key 1. I think that's a nice formation to throw key 1. I don't have any cuts of that. We've done it in the past, and it's been nice for us. And you definitely can do it. It's not something that we make a living on, but it's definitely something you can do.
Hey, Coach, just real quick tonight, Noel did get that question about the F, putting the F at either the number 2 or number 3. And, his answer was pretty much put the F just goes to number 3 when they want to throw that key 3. And if they're throwing key 2, then he goes to 2.
Right. Because we have some route concepts where we make him the number 3 also, we have a signal that says trio where he's the number 2, and we have a signal for tripod where he's the number 3. This signal was tripod, which puts him as the number 3, and then we just gave a little bunch sign to get these guys to line up in bunch. If it's regular tripod, we're spread out there. Tripod bunch for us is tight. So it depends on how much stuff you want to do. For our kids, I like to tell them where to line up. I think that takes one thing off their plate.
Yep.
Now, here's another example, and you can do this a lot on key 2 and key 3, is this double technique. If you watch the outside receiver, he's looking to help the Y. Why is he doing that? Because the corner's 8 yards off and pedaling. I don't have to run and get that corner. Again, Noel always says, get the play started. Double the guy who is the biggest threat here. And then he's free to come off. Again, it'd be nice if he blocked somebody, but at least he's free to come off. All right. It looks like you got a 4-2 box. It looks like 22's a box guy. They got 4 down linemen. How do we block it? All right. We get an undercall backside. So you've got 57 and 74 working together. Should be to number 9. On the front side, you got the center and right guard working up to 22 off that A-gap guy. So we got it blocked pretty well. If we handed the ball off, it would have been a good play as well. We get good yardage on the throw. Okay, this I got just a few more clips for you here, fellas. Here's a dual F quick, and this is from the first game. The F quick isn't as tight as I'd like it to be in terms of the motion and timing, but there is the F going in motion. Nobody really moves. So what is the quarterback going to do? He's going to put the ball down to confirm. He confirms that nobody really moved. Pull it out. Throw the ball. I had 2-on-2 down here. And again, I'm getting the ball to my best player in space. And didn't look like my best player there, but he was a good player for us in terms of getting yards. So we're running Zoro even. We got a lot of twisty going on there up front. This particular team did a lot of that against us. Our left tackle kind of gets beat here on the inside move. Our left guard, for some reason, well, he doesn't get any presence. All right, we should have that left guard and tackle. All right, the nose goes first into the B gap. This guy is scraping around. I would have liked to seen the guard and tackle bang into each other here in the B gap. All right, if they bang into each other in the B gap, that tackle picks up this nose, and hopefully the guard can come off on the looper. Again, it ends up just like pass protection. All right, we don't get that look, but right here, I'd like to see Jimmy come off on 67, and his presence might have pushed the guard off on this kid 46 coming around. A couple more examples of this F quick and fast. So again, F into the boundary here. We got numbers to the field. Nobody moves hard. Okay. Here comes the F. The quarterback's putting the ball down because he wants to confirm that this defensive end isn't locking on to that. Well, by putting the ball down, he got the defensive end to close. It allows the F to get a little bit more width. And we get the ball out there to him. Not great wide receiver blocking, but good enough. For some reason, we struggled in this game a little bit with the inside zone game, and I'll show you exactly why. We did not handle this long stick move by the man on our left tackle. He is going to come all the way into this A gap. Our center leaves the line of scrimmage too soon. Our center is climbing for the linebacker. Our guard is getting beat in the A gap. And when we did run zone, the zone play was getting pushed out into this free linebacker. Now, if we had handed it off here, hopefully we would have taken it back there for a big run.
Hey, Coach, what are you telling your quarterback when to snap the ball?
He snaps the ball when the F quick motion gets to the tackle's outside leg. So if we're running fast, right about now, he might be a hair late on this snap. The ball is in the quarterback's hands right now. The F is almost, I think the F had to slow down a little bit to let the ball clear. So that might have been, the quarterback might have snapped it a little bit late. Okay? So we want ball first, F second, tailback third. It should be a three-way mesh in there. And generally, the correct timing, if our F is running hard, is when the F gets to the outside leg of the tackle is when we want to snap that ball. Actually, that wasn't as bad as I thought. Here's why we have to put the ball down on F quick motion. He snaps the ball. Okay. I don't mind throwing it with a man defender trailing, but this team was playing a funky bear look, and if we had just said no secondary players rolled and that quarterback had thrown the ball here, I think this defensive end or outside linebacker would have peeled and picked it off. The man coverage defender is beat. If I throw it to my guy against man coverage, I think we beat him down the sideline. But the outside linebacker or end man on the line of scrimmage sloughs off to play the Comet. So that's why the quarterback has to put the ball down on F quick. He puts it down. He sees that they got a guy on the Comet, so he hands it off. And I'm not even going to show you the inside clip. They were playing a bear, and they really didn't know how to play it very well. Now, I got the wrong title here. This is not dual right, but this is our green fast. Noel would call it green tear. So now I don't have to put the ball down because we're snapping the ball when the F is already out here in motion. He's cleared the tackle. So now if I don't get any movement from the defense, it's catch and throw. Catch, throw, and this is like stealing. I thought our Y does a pretty good job here of targeting the outside number. His head falls a little bit short, so he didn't get to his aiming point, but he was able to widen that guy enough that we were able to get inside and then back out. Here's another example. This is blue fast, or again, if you're using Noel's terms, blue tear. Is anybody moving? Right now, we see no movement from the defense. No movement from the defense. Catch and throw. Get the ball out there. We had to block two guys on that play. What if we handed it off? What kind of box do we have? 1, 2, 3, 2 box with an overhang. Do we alert this? Yes, we do. So the right tackle, my sophomore, thinks 23's in a blitz position, so he's going to alert this. The center's going to answer east, east, east. We get that. We get that. I think we got a mess going on inside of a stunt here. All right, the nose goes hard. No, we didn't get the stunt on that one, so we picked it up nicely. If we had handed the ball off, boy, we got a heck of a run lane in there as well. We blocked that one pretty well.
Yeah. Coach, are you ever saying anything to your quarterback during the game when you guys see maybe it was an obvious give or throw and he didn't do it? Or are you just letting him play?
I'm letting him play. During the game, I'm letting him play. When he comes off to the side, that's when I might speak to him, say, hey, I called that. I thought you might throw the key. How come you didn't? And sometimes he'll say, you know what, Coach, I just wasn't, I wasn't feeling it, and hey, if that happens, all right, hey, move on. But for the most part, we talk a little bit during the game, but never during the play. If I want him to throw a key that he missed, I probably lightning the play. Call it again. Call it again. If he keeps handing it off, if the key is there 3 plays in a row and he hands it off every time, then we'll have a little more serious discussion when he gets to the sideline. But generally, he figures it out. And if there's any mistake I think I make as a play caller sometimes is not running the same play over and over again when it doesn't work. All right, because sometimes I think you have to give the kids a chance to fix the play. we made a mistake. All right. So now all of a sudden I call another play. Sometimes when you make a mistake on a play, best thing to do is come back. If it's a good play, come back to it right away. The kids fix the problem. And, the play went for 0 the first time you ran it, and it goes for 12 the second time.
Yeah. Yeah. Good.
And here's one, why doesn't he hand this off? I mean, why doesn't he throw this? It doesn't look like anybody's moving. They have 2. We have 2. Is anybody from the inside going? Nope. Maybe he sees this linebacker starting to work his way out there. Maybe that's why he decides to put it down. I put that one in there just because I think you see a nice running back technique on the tight copy. So here you've got a mess of a linebacker cross dog coming. Is 15 in an alert position? Oh, he looks like he's alert to me. Does our right tackle alert it? Absolutely he does. So we get the right tackle on 15, the right guard here. The center and the backside guard handle those 2. 54 is tired of us throwing keys, so he's running out. 54 is an inside linebacker on a cross dog. He sees that comet motion there, that fast motion, and he continues. Instead of cross dogging inside to stop the run, he's headed out there to, worry about the pass, and we sneak the ball right up inside. Fellas, do we have any more questions? I've got more tape, but if we're
Coach, I'm not.
Questions.
Yeah, not very many more questions. I have one for you. First off, top drawer. That's got to be as good as any presentation we've seen. Glacier Clinics, Nike Clinics, and what we've been doing here. So, hats off. A lot of guys are, sending along their congratulations to you on a great clinic tonight. If you don't mind, because we're already 10:45 Eastern, there's 3 things going on this play that's kind of a big deal. You got the mesh, you've got these key screens going on the perimeter, and then you have, the different blocks and calls up front. How are you, just briefly, how are you practicing or how are you accomplishing, the parts of this play as part of your practice plan? And maybe the frequency on that too.
For us, if we're playing, regardless of when we're playing Friday or Saturday night, Tuesday is zone day. Tuesday is our Zoro day. So a normal practice at Ramapo is about an hour on offense and an hour on defense each day. We practice offense and defense every day, no emphasis, and 20 minutes of special teams and a 10-minute warm-up. That's your base practice. So offense for us is a 5-minute screen drill to get started. And then on a Tuesday, our quarterbacks and receivers go and do key drill. So we have key 1 on one side, key 2 on the other, and we're getting reps at that. So we're catching and throwing. My quarterback always comes to me and says, after Tuesday, Coach, my arm's always hanging from key drill. So we're throwing that key out there. And I think, again, you want a kid with a quick release. You want great velocity on that ball. And obviously accuracy is important. So key 1 on one side, key 2 on the other side, then switch. Key 1 on one side, key 2 on the other side. And that usually is somewhere between, early in camp, it's 5 minutes each side. As we get on, it's 2 to 3 minutes each side later in the season. Then we'll put trio to one side and run key 2 and work our smoke route into the boundary, our hitch or our fade, and our boundary hitch and fade. So now I've got the Y, the F, and the right outside receiver working their key 2 blocking scheme for the week. And then I've got my X and my backside working their smoke routes to the backside. Then we switch that. So, that drill in training camp is a 20-minute drill. During the season, we try to cut it down to about 12 minutes. While quarterbacks and receivers are doing that, the offensive line is working run block fundamentals. We try to steal some time. Our offensive linemen generally don't play much specials, so we steal scheme time during specials. But that's a good 12 minutes of technique. Our running backs are doing their cutting drills and their ball security drills during that initial phase of practice, period 1. Then, as soon as that period is done, the receivers go on their own, do some of their drill work, and the offensive line, running backs, and quarterbacks get together, and now we're post-key. We've evaluated our smoke. We have evaluated our key screen. Now we're working on the Zoro handoff, the Zoro read, the Zoro line blocking. Now we go 10 minutes hard with our offensive line against a 6-man box, a 5-man box, whatever we're going to see. I'll run, Zoro odd, 3 times in a row with my first group, maybe 4 times in a row. And we'll change the look. We'll give them a different stunt, a different blitz. We'll move the 1 and the 3. Then we'll run Zoro even 4 times in a row with, the same deal there. And so our first group will get 8 good reps with a running back. That's live Zoro drill right there. And then, and really that's how we drill the play. After that, we go to, some pass work, and then we run it in team a bunch. But that's Tuesday's our day for Zoro. We'll run it in team every day during the week. But the 10-minute key drill and the 10-minute Zoro drill is really the crux of the coaching of the play for us.
Wow. Coach, that's awesome. I know you sent us a practice schedule. I think last week you sent it to me. So there's a couple guys asking about it. We will put it up on the website so guys can get a look at that. And I'll probably make it so that guys can download it. At least Doug does that. I don't do that. And then I know Ed Cook wants to talk a little bit more about Colt, but these guys can pick up the phone and call you and email you any time, and I'll get that information out so they can follow up, because I know it's getting pretty late. And you certainly earned your championship coaching check tonight, Coach.
Well, thank you.
But thanks so much. That's top drawer, and it starts us off with just a great deal. I know for everyone that's still on, we're never going to do Noel again at 7 Eastern. That's too early for him. So he